Hey everybody, just want to welcome you all. My name is Jill Olimpieri. I am the program manager here at the Seidenberg School. And we wanted to just touch base with you today, so thank you for your time. We wanted to just give you a little bit more information and clarification about the current global crisis with COVID-19 and how Pace University is really addressing this challenge. So again, thank you guys for taking the time out on this Wednesday. I'm sure you're busy with lots of electronic learning and, getting involved with your school still. So again, just want to thank you guys. So I will pass the mic over to Dean Hill, who is joining us here. And I'll let him discuss a little bit further in terms of if you have questions, feel free to add anything into the chat and we'll work through some of those questions and Q&A as we move along in the PowerPoint. So feel free if you want to chime in, turn on your mic. We'd love to see you, or your webcam mic, give a wave. If not, that's okay. But again, we're here if you guys have questions. So I'm going to pass the mic over to Dean Hill.
Thank you so much, Jill. And thank you all so very, very much for logging on, coming out and logging on, and hope to be able to answer some further questions for you. Some of you we've met a number of times and you're near and dear to our heart.
I can't hear.
Can you hear now?
Ah, explains it.
There we go. All right, very good. What I'd love to do is just take a moment and have you all introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are and where you're from and which of our campuses, New York or Pleasantville, that you are hoping to attend in the fall. So I'm going to call on you in the order in which I see you on my screen here on Zoom. And before we do that, I just want to introduce you to our wonderful, wonderful team here. Jill Olimpieri. Many of you have met. Jill is our marketing and student life guru, spends most of her time in Pleasantville, although she's lots of places for us. Katie Todd is our chief of staff and director of communications and is responsible for making me sound coherent in the printed word. And Emma Kleinberg is our star academic advisor, spends most of her time in New York, but again is available to students all over the place. So I am really, really glad that you are all here. And apparently I have joined as myself twice here. So I'm glad to see that. So if I could start with Mike Bowler. Mike, if you just introduce yourself and say hello.
Hi, everyone. Mike Bowler here, and I work in the undergraduate admission office. So feel free to ask me any questions. Also, reach out to me afterwards.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your being here. And Mad M, if you would.
I think he's having some technical difficulties. We've got a message in the chat that Mad M cannot hear us.
Oh no.
So I guess we'll try and figure that out.
Maybe logging out and logging back in might help sometimes, or in restarting the computer. Sometimes that makes a difference with Zoom. And we have Michelle.
That's pronounced Mitchell.
Mitchell, hi.
Yeah, hello. So I intend on attending the campus in New York. Yeah.
And what are you hoping to study, Mitchell?
I'm hoping to study computer science so I can get into software engineering.
Great choice. You're going to make $1 zillion.
Thanks.
And Tyler Besnoff. Okay, Tyler, we'll come back to you. And the celebrity, Simone Gonzalez. Hi, Simone. How are you? Your mute is off, but I still don't hear you. So you can check on that, and we'll come back to you, Simone. Julia Pieri.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, so I would hope to be at the New York City campus, and I'm planning to major in information technology, and then hopefully that would lead me into something related to cybersecurity.
Great call. Really wonderful. And Julia, where are you from?
I'm from Long Island, New York, Farmingdale.
Farmingdale. Very nice. So glad you joined us today, and welcome. Dylan O'Neill.
I'm Dylan, originally from Brooklyn and live in Atlanta now. I'm looking to go to the New York City campus and study information technology for cybersecurity.
Outstanding. Another fabulous choice. And Shimron?
I am a computer scientist, also information technologist, and wants to study in cybersecurity, but also a musician and as a trombonist. And I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
All right. Well, you can join our electronic music mix group and have some fun with that. And I'm sorry, did you say you wanted to attend the New York campus?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. And Ryan Mark?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm from Danbury, Connecticut. I want to go to the Pleasantville campus, and I want to study computer science.
I think that's a fabulous decision also, and so glad you could join us. Thank you for getting online tonight. And Zia Joseph.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. So I'm Zia Joseph. I'm from White Plains. I want to go to the Pleasantville campus, and I'm going to do computer science.
Very, very nice. I have a friend named Ryan Mark who's going to the Pleasantville campus. And so glad you could join us. And Anthony Nisi. We'll come back. And Susan Brathwaite. Susan, can you hear us?
Hi.
Hi.
I am the parent of Shimran Brathwaite.
Oh, you are? Wonderful. Okay, so glad to hear your voice again, and I'm very glad you could join.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. And Jason Rochester.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm going to be going to the Pleasantville campus.
Very nice.
I hope to do something with software engineering.
Very good call. Very, very good call. And does the Rochester part, is that your family name, or is that where you're from?
Family name.
Okay, very good. And where are you from?
Yonkers.
Yonkers, you said that. Good. Love it. And we've got someone who called in from a 770 area code. If you feel free to say hello. Okay. And Simone, are you able to hear us? Great. Can't hear you, unfortunately, but we will get that worked out. So everybody, thank you very, very much for coming out today. And we've had a number of heartfelt and very good questions from students and parents who are and have been planning to start college in the fall and very much want to start college with us here at the Seidenberg School, except we've got this global pandemic coming on right now. And I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about what our plans are, maybe give you a little bit of insight in terms of what we've been doing at PACE this spring in order to make sure that our current students are having a really good experience. And from there, tell you a little bit about what our plans are for the future and what we will be able to offer you as Seidenberg School, PACE University students as you begin your academic careers in the fall. So as we all know, this is an absolutely unique situation. We have not been in this kind of scenario ever, certainly in my in my work life of 30 or so years. And that includes from the stock market crash of 1987 to 9/11 to Superstorm Sandy and to the dot-com meltdown of 2001 to 2003. We've been faced with a lot of challenges, but nothing quite like this. And this is unusual because this is something that threatens people's lives to begin with. And I think if you are a sentient person who is on Twitter and YouTube and online, you can't help but hear and experience all of the overwhelming information about this virus. And there is a lot more that's unknown about it than there is known about it that we know factually. Lots and lots of misinformation out there. And, you know, it's still clear, I think all of us know people who have contracted the illness, and many of us know people who have passed away as a result of the illness. So there is no doubt that this is very, very serious. There's also no doubt that this affects people's livelihoods. For all of you parents, all of us know people who have lost their jobs. We may have lost a job, lost income, and this is an extraordinarily serious thing that we have to take into account, and certainly makes us question how we're going to afford to pay for our children's education. I also have a son who's a senior in high school, and his college plans are very, very much different than they were 6 months ago. Although I can tell you that his first choice was attending Pace Pleasantville and playing football there. And he actually wants to study environmental science, hoping he'll do a minor in computer science, but we will see. But lots and lots of that is all on hold. You know, is there going to be a football season? Will there be sports next year? So a lot of those things are questioned, and then of course just our whole way of life. Many of us who travel for business, who all of you students who are so engaged in after school activities in your own world are very, very upside down, right? You're missing your friends. You are not going to have the graduation or the prom and the parties and just the whole victory lap experience of closing high school that you had anticipated and your parents had anticipated for you. So it's a really, really difficult situation. From the Seidenberg School perspective, I can share with you that a lot of our seniors who are planning to graduate and our graduate students who are going out into the world are likewise also very disoriented because they miss each other first and foremost, but they miss their classes, they miss their professors, they miss Jill and Katie and Kim and Emma. And I think sometimes they miss me very little bit, but they do. And what I'm most proud of is that the very strong community that we have at the Seidenberg School, that so many of you have experienced when you've come to visit us on campus. We've been able to keep that together. And it's not the same as shaking someone's hand or giving them a hug at our hugging spot in our design factory, but the same care, the same thoughtfulness, the same attention to detail in delivering an education is all happening. And as I say, I'm incredibly proud of our students and our staff and our faculty for the way that they have adapted to this and the very positive attitude and can-do attitude that we have brought to brought to our school. All of it goes online. So I want to talk a little bit again about the various facets of the Seidenberg and Pace University experience and how that can, how that will translate to an online experience if need be. First, let me say that as of now, Pace University has said that our summer semesters will be online. They've also told us that they will give very specially discounted prices to students who want to take online classes during the summer. And in fact, we are planning to offer some classes to our entering freshmen that you can do online in the summer and start to build up credits towards graduation. And we think those are going to be unique and very, very special, and we're excited about them. We are planning right now to start school September 1st, and with certainly a very different social distancing set of rules, and we may put plexiglass between the computers in the computer lab and ask students to sit 6 feet apart. So we are going to be very cautious and very careful, but we are planning to move ahead. While we're planning to move forward as scheduled, we're also preparing to move all of our programs and all of our activities online as need be. It's been proposed by some that we plan to start October 1st with an adjustment to the calendar turning September, adjustment to the academic calendar, turning September into a mini-module month-long semester, and then adjusting the academic calendar perhaps a month forward with finals after the Christmas vacation. We are preparing to move all of our activities online, and that includes academics. The Seidenberg School has been in the online education business since about 1997. We're very experienced at this, and I dare say that we're very good at it. We have some faculty who are absolute online teaching rock stars, and we're going to make sure that those are the faculty who are teaching your introductory courses come fall. And again, some of those classes may start in person. There could be another outbreak and we have to all go back home again for another month. But I can promise you that the same attention to detail, the same thoughtfulness that goes into our face-to-face classes will become part of any online academic experience that you have. The Seidenberg extracurricular experience, as I hope you've noted, is something that is very rich and is good or better than any out-of-the-classroom experience offered by any other university in the country. We have students who are engaged in undergraduate research with their faculty. We have students who are working in our laboratories, who are working on industry projects. We have loads and loads of student clubs, student activities, such as the Women in Technology Club, the Seidenberg Creative Labs group that actually builds software and mobile apps for industry partners who pay for that, that service, and the students get paid like it's a part-time job. I should also add that we are ramping up to offer lots of student jobs this summer, and that as accepted students matriculating into PACE in September, if you are interested, you would be very eligible to apply for and have one of those jobs this summer. So if that's something that interests you, please let us know and we'll make sure that that happens. The social aspect is an incredibly important part of going to college and the college experience, and it's a very rich part of the experience at the Seidenberg School. And we've been able to maintain that social engagement, again, online with the virtual parties and virtual DJ sets and opportunities to listen to music together. The Women in Technology group has had several movie nights. So there are a lot of wonderful things going on where students get to know each other better and get to share their experiences under quarantine. And that highly engaged social life is one of the special features of the Seidenberg School, and something that I think you will be able to enjoy and continue and to start. I've mentioned our research opportunities. Those are very robust and those are moving online. You can't manipulate a robot without being in front of it, but you can program it, for example. You can do really important data analytics work and cybersecurity work online on a distributed basis. So our students involved in those organizations, those research initiatives, those labs are all doing that. And that's an opportunity that will be open to you all this summer as well. Internships. One of the very bright lights for us is that technology companies are still hiring. The vast majority of our students have been informed that their internships are going forward, but that they will be online. A handful of students have gotten emails saying, we love you, but we're not in a position to take on interns this summer. So those folks are being reaccommodated. And our career services office is extremely busy creating new opportunities, albeit online for this summer for internships for our students. Likewise, the technology industry is hiring. If you'll notice, we're on Zoom, right? Zoom stock has skyrocketed and their hiring needs have skyrocketed. One of the realities of this global pandemic is that the technology industry is what's allowing us all to continue to work and communicate. So the tech job scene remains very, very robust and something that will justify, I think, your investment in your college education at Seidenberg, because the internship opportunities and the job outcomes are going to be very, very robust. We all understand and acknowledge that the world is going to be a little bit different, at least at first, when this ends and we begin to open up in a staged fashion. But the opportunities are going to be profound and very, very real. And there are exciting outcomes for all of you at the end of this very, very challenging time. As I mentioned, we are planning for a fall start, and we will continue to keep you in college and moving forward. I read a blog post yesterday by a woman who's a law professor somewhere out in California, and she was saying no student should start college next year because it's too unknown an experience, and you won't get the regular experience that you would have gotten if we didn't have the social distancing situation that we're confronted with. And I take issue with that because, number one, if you were to take a gap year, it's not like you can go to Florence and work in an art gallery or go to Idaho and be a fishing guide. You know, your options are going to be very local and very, very limited. By continuing forward with your education this fall, number one, you will stay in step with your friends. You will be part of your cohort that you went to high school with, and you are all going to be going off into a college experience by and large. And I can tell you that the college experience that our Seidenberg students are getting right now on an online basis is a very rich one, a very varied one, and something that remains challenging and is very engaging. I can also tell you that this is going to pass. I can't tell you if it's going to pass in 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, but it is going to pass. And by continuing to earn college credit, by continuing your educational momentum and moving forward, you are going to put yourself in the cat's bird seat in terms of being ready to take advantage of the many, many opportunities that are going to come out of the return to a new and more vibrant life. So I want to take some time to take your questions and talk a little bit about concerns you have and other things you'd like to discuss. But I appreciate very, very much you're spending some time with us today. And again, I'm very, very excited for you to embark on your educational journey and your university journey. And we very much would like you to do that here at the Seidenberg School. So with that being said, happy to take some questions.
You know, we have a couple questions in the chat. Can you talk a little bit more about some of what Career Services does in terms of what they offer? In terms of services?
Career Services does a few things. Number one, they prepare you to sell yourself as an intern or for a job. So they spend a lot of time with you working on building your resume and on writing cover letters and understanding what a cover letter is and understanding how to respond to an internship ad or a job ad. They do workshops on a weekly basis on how to put together a LinkedIn profile, on how to, respond to a job ad. And the Seidenberg School at the same time is developing you by, when you walk in the door, we work with you to create a GitHub account. Some of you may already, anybody have a GitHub account already? You can raise your hand in the chat room and it'll show up here. But you will have a GitHub account from your first semester. You will be building projects that will be in your GitHub portfolio that you can go to an interview or bring to show your aunt and uncle at Thanksgiving dinner and show them what you have built in your time as a student. So we work at the school level to prepare you for your professional life, and the career services folks work with you and coach you on moving forward to take advantage of job opportunities, internship opportunities as they come along. There is a reason why I think 96% of our May graduates are working in the field, because PACE does an excellent job of preparing students for interviews and for going out into the workplace.
And then if you could also talk a little bit about the freshman experience in terms of opportunities for internships and careers. Mm-hmm. Does it start just at the junior level, or are students allowed to start searching for internships and have those opportunities readily available when they get to Seidenberg or PACE?
It used to. There's something called the PACE path that you've heard about, and the traditional model says that you come in as a first-year student and you get used to college life and you get to know your friends and your faculty and the staff and your academic advisors. And then, later in your first year, you work in one of the student research labs, or you get involved with Seidenberg Creative Labs. And then, summer of freshman year, you work at PACE or at home to make some money and to get a little bit more experience. And that, after your sophomore year, where you're now maybe in a position where you're managing the first year students that come into the research lab or the creative labs group, you then get that experience and take that forward to an internship in your sophomore year, between your sophomore and junior years. And then after your junior year, you get the internship that hopefully turns into a job offer that you graduate into when you walk off the stage at Radio City Music Hall after your senior year. That model kind of is turned on its ear, and more students are doing internships during their freshman year. And companies are willing to do that, so there are lots and lots of opportunities. And let's face it, one of the benefits of going to school in Pleasantville and New York City is that there are lots and lots and lots of internships and lots of companies that are eager to have you come in and get trained. So I would say I'm a little old-fashioned in the sense I believe in developing people and getting them experience in more of a step ladder way. But the reality is that the current model is more like rock climbing. Sometimes you go down a little bit, sometimes sideways, sometimes up. But again, PACE students tend to have an internship and a part-time job, and sometimes 2 internships. So that's one of the really great reasons to attend our school, because you will have more opportunities than you can take. I just saw Mike Bowler asking something about financial aid appeals. Let us know about that stuff. Copy us. We don't want anybody who wants a Seidenberg education to not attend because they can't afford it. We will always look for ways to make Seidenberg education attainable for you financially. Next question.
Let me scroll here. One second. So we have a question about AP scores affecting classes. Mike, do you want to hop on and explain a little bit about the process with AP classes and how those transfer to PACE?
Oh, you're still muted, Mike.
Sorry about that. So students who complete AP classes and take the exam and score a 3 or higher on the exam, we typically see those classes transfer into PACE for credit. We ask that those scores be submitted by the middle of July, typically July 15th, and that's something that can be emailed to us.
Tyler, can you tell us a little bit more about the AP courses you're taking now?
I think it was Tyler earlier that said that he doesn't have a microphone.
Okay.
So he can respond in the chat, but it might take a little bit of time.
Tyler's a man of few words.
Yeah.
Oh, you did ask. He is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He's going to be accepted student or is an accepted student for the Pleasantville campus.
Very nice. I see this. I see you're a swimmer from your image. Are you going to swim at PACE?
So as we wait for Tyler there, maybe we'll get some more information. Oh, he said he completed computer science principles, computer science A, and then completing Calc A, B, and stats. So he has a heavy load of AP classes. And yes, he will indeed be a swimmer. So our next Seidenberg's.
So we should connect him with Josh Lozano. Josh and maybe Anna. We have a long tradition of very, very successful swimmers here, Tyler. So we'll be thrilled to have you join us. And, I think you would get advanced credit for Java 1, and we'll talk to you about Java 2. But it sounds like you've got fabulous fundamentals.
There's also another question here about, oops, sorry, here we go. Concentration classes with computer science. If Emma or Stephanie are here, if they want to answer or clarify a bit about the computer science classes and what those are composed of. I don't know if they're still here or not.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, hey, this is Emma. She's one of our academic advisors in the New York City campus, and she'll give you a little bit more information.
Yeah, sorry. I was just actually typing the response in the box. So,
I'll put you on the spot today. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. So I'm not entirely sure what the question is asking. We don't have concentrations within, like specific concentrations that you could focus in computer science. We have a specific list of courses that that you'd be taking, and it also depends on whether you're doing a BA or a BS. If you have specific questions, I'll provide my email in the box and I'm happy to answer those, but I'll also send the webpage that has all the required classes for the program. It includes programming classes and architecture classes and a bunch of other things. So I'll send that to you here, but I think that's that might help give you some idea of the program.
Nice. And Susan, you'd asked about transferring accommodations. I think the answer to that is yes, and you need to have them restated at the university level at that office. And we'll be really glad to help with that process. More questions?
Steph looks like she wants to join in here. Steph, I'll unmute you.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Hey, Steph.
Okay. Hi. So I just wanted to follow up on the question from Ms. Braffett regarding, I believe she was asking about, what was it? Accommodations. And if her student is a student in the program that I believe that he is in, I can always put her in touch with that department. That's the Challenge to Achievement department. There's a wonderful resources available for students in that area, and they would definitely be able to give her some more insight into the accommodations process.
Awesome. Thanks, Steph.
Sure.
Julia's asking, which this looks like to be a mic or an advisor, but does PACE accept college level courses? If so, what grade do I need to have for them to transfer in?
Absolutely. So we do accept college level courses. Typically students that take a college level course and receive a C or higher, we see that course translate to PACE for credit. The only thing that we require is a transcript from the specific college. A lot of students may send their high school transcript, which notes the college course, but we do need the actual transcript from the college.
Looks like another Mike question here. Mike, sorry, but you're on the spot today.
Not a problem. Happy to.
It's very helpful to have all these answered because, like we know, some students this is applicable for multiple.
Yeah,
so
instant answer.
It's really great. Appreciate everyone's questions here.
So in terms of any placement exams, those are typically, I'm not sure of the exact timeline on those, but they would be later in the summer or during orientation. But there are some placement exams, specifically with English. There's the option of placing out of kind of the 100 level English class, depending on what courses you've taken at high school and the grades that you've taken there.
Thanks, Mike. I'm just gonna scroll up here and make sure we didn't miss any questions that anybody had.
I'm pretty sure Simone has a question.
I think we got most that are in the chat here. One of the things I would like to know, which has been a burning question for quite some time for Dean Hill, what is your favorite thing about the community and the feel at Seidenberg on both the Pleasantville and the New York City campus? Like, what's the thing that you see and it's that thing that keeps you going?
The community kind of drives us all to be better. There are just so many smart, creative, fun people involved in the Seidenberg School. And I know that the students really, they drive me to be better and to be on top of my game. And they're the imagination and the ambition. They've really been the folks that have helped to take the school to the next level in terms of being a real powerhouse in technology and computing education. So, I think at the end of the day, it's these amazing people who choose to come to school here, and they could go to school any place, but they choose to come here and be part of this wonderful community. So for me, week in, week out, day in, day out, for many years now, I've just gotten so much inspiration. Even when I've had a really tough day, I talk to some of our students and hear what they're doing and what they want to build, and it makes it all right. And it gets me really excited to come in and keep working.
I waited 3 years to ask you that question. I'm just kidding. We have another question from Susan. What opportunities can students with an advanced Regents diploma coming from high school at PACE, what kind of opportunities are available for them?
It might be a Michael question as well.
Could be a combo there.
Yeah, I would say similar to sort of the AP level courses, it would be possible that you would place out of some of the core curriculum classes. But if you'd like to contact me, I can get a more in-depth answer to that question.
All right, cool.
Let me ask you, some of our wonderful students, prospective students, what's been the toughest thing for you about this quarantine situation, and what's been the best thing? Feel free to respond by voice or by chat as you wish.
We have an inquiry about the food on campus. Anyone a frequent cafe eater?
The one thing that I suppose we can say about the food is that it caters to all different types of diet. However, I cannot speak for the quality. You can eat there. I don't know if you're going to like it.
Oh, so the toughest thing has been not seeing other people, going outside. The best thing about quarantine is getting to sleep as long as they want. That was Michelle. Sleep is always good.
Sleep is a beautiful thing, and being super, super necessary. And yeah, I'm so sorry that you're all missing out on Julia's note about how she's missing out on her last months of high school and seeing your friends, and that's it's tough. It's really, really tough, and I think our hearts bleed for you about that, and I know your parents do as well. But there are going to be wonderful and very powerful things that come out of this time, and we're here to help you with that. I'm interested to know how many of our high school prospective students here are interested in engaging in some things this summer, whether it's taking a class or working with one of the student faculty research groups.
Let's wait for some responses. We're getting a lot of Simone's feeling, different, appreciate everything, missing people. We are too. It's a sad time. It's a very joyous time for a lot of people, and being apart is very difficult. Yeah, missing out on senior year.
Looks like we do have some interest in participation over summer, Dean Hill.
Right. So we're going to get that information out to you. So, keep an eye. I also understand you all are getting a ton of emails from PACE and from your high schools and other colleges and just all kinds of stuff. So what's your preference in terms of having us contact you? Anthony says email. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Good to know.
I like that.
Yeah. Also, we're doing some really cool seminars. Every week we had a fabulous thing with the Senior Vice President for Technology at ADP last week, one of our alums. There's lots and lots of really interesting content for you to engage with right now. So follow our social media feeds, follow our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter feeds.
Let's see, yeah, a lot of emails here. Let's see. Cool. So email it is. Like that. Although we are streaming everything on our social media. I'll pull this up here for you guys, but we're on all kinds of media platforms, so feel free to follow us. You guys are also, as accepted students or parents, guardians, to come to any of the webinars and or opportunities that we email. So again, we do send it to parents and guardians, the information we have on file. So we're hopeful that, during this time we can definitely meet you guys at a, virtual capacity, as well as, your parents, guardians, siblings. These are things that we would normally get to do with you in person. So we'd love to, meet more, learn about you guys, and offer more opportunities for you to learn about our in-person labs, groups of students that can really let you know what happens at the Seidenberg School in terms of academics and their experience. So we will be offering a lot more webinars so that you guys can get more comfortable, get to know us, we get to know you. So we'll be letting you guys know about those opportunities moving forward. For some of you who attended the webinar a couple weeks ago at the beginning of April, we went over some of the next steps for what you guys can look forward to. The deposit date has been moved until June 15th. So during this, crazy time, we're not trying to stress anybody out to make a decision. We want to give you guys time to figure out, get all your ducks in a row. So the deadline is now June 15th. You guys can still, there's a bunch of questions about financial aid here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's about financial aid scholarships. So whether you outreach Mike, you outreach me, Dean Hill, Stephanie, anyone who you have made contact with or want to talk to, will definitely be able to help you guys through this situation, as it's not, normal in our current state. So we do have all these resources. PACE has a coronavirus website, so pace.edu/coronavirus if you're interested to see any of how university is handling the situation. Jonathan did go over, or Dean Hill went over a bunch of what the university and umbrella is doing. However, there's some specific information that might be applicable to you in terms of if you're an international student, if you're from across the country, if you're commuter residential. So there is some interesting information on there that is ever changing. So feel free to check that out as well. I'm just going to look through this chat here.
Yeah. And I just want to add how much I appreciate your sharing with us, your feelings and reactions to, the situation and how it's affected your senior year of high school. And again, our hearts go out to you, and I admire very much the way that you're all adapting and making the best of it. And this is going to pass. And getting ready to start college, I think, is an important step forward in moving forward with your lives and strengthening yourselves personally and academically, so that you're ready for the opportunities. This is an unprecedented challenge for all of us in this country and around the world, but there are going to be great things that come out of this. And I applaud you for being ready to prepare yourselves to take advantage of those opportunities.
So it looks like that was the last, just the FAFSA questions. All right.
Okay.
Sounds
I'm very glad we got to have some of this time together. Seidenberg and Pace Gang, any last words you'd like to share?
I feel like I want to tell everybody to stay positive, but in that sense, everybody seems to have a very positive outlook despite the situation. I know these times are hard. You don't have anywhere to go, and we're, all juggling different home scenarios. So it's amazing how everybody can adjust so quickly, and just having everybody stay positive and be grateful for those around you, and to stay, safe, healthy. It's always a number one.
Yeah, Jill, thanks. This is Stephanie Ellison. I just wanted to make sure and add that I'm just pleasantly delighted that you guys will take time to join us this afternoon. You could have been doing anything else to kind of make the boredom go away, but that you chose to join us and be informed by us tells me that your motivation is strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of you you and others, if you know of others who are also admitted, some of your friends, relatives who are admitted to PACE, to Seidenberg, make sure that they're joining us, checking our social media pages, because we have so much to offer and we want to share that with you, to ensure you know how much we value ourselves, and we want you to be a part of that.
Wonderful.
Well said, Steph. Thank you. And again, thank you all for coming out. We're around and we look forward to talking with you. Inevitably, a question is going to pop in your mind tonight. Email it to us and we'll get right back to you. And as you all are staying, thank you for the well wishes, and I wish you all to stay safe and look forward to talking with you again very, very soon.